a wide array of topics that you write about. And your most recent book is the annotated version of G.K. Chesterton's, as you've already mentioned, book done over 100 years ago, which is incredible to me that when I first saw the book come out, I went, what in the world is he writing about G.K. Chesterton's book that came out over 100 years ago? Why do an annotated version of this book and have it released today?
Well, the book has never been out of print. It's a classic. It's considered a classic by all kinds of people, apologetics people, theologians, Christians, thoughtful Christians have read it for more than 100 years now. I mean, C.S. Lewis was obviously influenced by it. Orthodoxy is a classic, but it's a hard book to read. And a lot of times people read the book the first time, or they get halfway through the book or even a third of the way through the book, and they're like, I'm not tracking. And it's one of those books, I read it my first time back in 2010, 2011. And I don't even know that I understood a quarter of it, what I was reading. It was dense, but it was also brilliant. There were these sentences and certain paragraphs that were just jaw-dropping, right? Burst off the page kind of insight. So it was like I've compared it to being in this, you feel like you're making your way through a dense jungle and you're finding nuggets of gold everywhere, but you really don't know the path you're on. You're just finding these gold nuggets. So basically, I think I've read Orthodoxy now probably 10 times or so. It's just one of those books I've gone back to a lot. And I got to this place where I thought, there really needs to be a very nice version of this book that's nicely typeset, that beautiful cover, just really, the feel of the book really to show how much this book actually deserves to be treated well. But I thought, for first timers trying to get into this book, it's really hard. What if I just did some things like break up some of the paragraphs? Because, just like these guys from 100 years ago, they wrote these extraordinarily lengthy paragraphs. And so I wanted to break up the paragraphs, maybe do some subheadings so that people could follow the train of thought a little bit more, do a little intro at the beginning of each chapter to kind of let you know, this is what this chapter is and where you're going, some things to look for on the way. And then on the back end, have a summary to say, hey, here's what just happened. Some discussion questions, like here's how and then to go through. And the thing about Orthodoxy that really, really trips people up is that Chesterton is constantly referring to historical happenings, events, places, and people that today we have absolutely no context for. And so the annotations are there basically to say, okay, you have no idea who this person is, but let me just tell you who this person is, why, and then you can kind of figure out, oh, that's why Chesterton's referring to this person or that person, or this place in England that you've never been to, that you don't know what it is, like to kind of understand how the flow of the argument works. So you don't get bogged down in some of those details. So it really, for me, it was a labor of love. I love that book. I love Chesterton. And, I wanted to be able to introduce people to that book in a way that would keep them reading rather than have them give up and miss out on some of the treasures that you find in it.